Yeah, we can see your screen. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Is it fully visible to all of you?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Please continue.
So, dear participants, as you know that the today's topic, which is assigned to me, is about the assessment and accreditation of the higher education institution in India by the National Council, that is the National Assessment of the Accreditation Council, NAC, we call it. While I was going through the schedule, I have seen that some of the lectures have already delivered by some of the distinguished faculty about the NEC and how to get the NEC accreditation. So still today, lots of things are there, lots of doubts are there in the mind of the faculties, those who are interested to get the NEC accreditation for their respective educational institution, higher education institution. Every day they have the doubt that how to prepare the reports, how to prepare the files, and which actually Professor Aprajita ma'am given me the assignment that how to prepare the file and how to prepare the contents so that we can get the better grading in a 7-grade system of the NEC. So I'll try to justify the things. I'll try to explain you how you can prepare yourself and how you can prepare your reports to get the proper accreditation. How to get the good number of the grade, how to get all those things. This we'll discuss, and I will be very happy if you'll make it this session more interactive. So will help me out to understand your label, and then we can discuss the remaining things. As जैसा मैंने आपसे बोला, mostly we are using the Google Meet. So this Zoom is somewhat.
Hello? Yes,
Sure.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Is there anything, ma'am?
No, I was thinking, I was trying to help you. Yeah.
No problem. Not at all. It's okay. Fine. Actually, there is an option that you can hide this bar in Zoom, this Google Meet. So I was trying to off that thing, but it was for this sharing, not for the this bar only. Anyways, see, the accreditation is a big problem. It's a big question mark for the higher education institution in India. Since the India is having a largest diverse education system in the India, in the country, we have a very diverse education system, where we have the institutions like the international repute institution like IIT and IITs. And on the other hand, we have the different institutions. Since last 40 years, I am associated with this complete process of the accreditation and the college affiliation, which we call at the label of the universities, the college affiliation process. So that is basically the affiliation. When we are, as a university, we are giving the affiliation to the different colleges. The same process is there in the NEC is giving the accreditation to the different higher education institutions. But if you see, we have a diverse education system. At the end, we have a very high repute educational system. At the other end, bottom of the age of the higher education system, you see we have colleges in the different villages, even where the standards are drastically very diverse, बहुत diverse standards हैं. So it becomes very difficult to set the accreditation norms for the different educational institutions. Particularly in higher education system, when we talk about the school education, we don't have, I don't think there is kind of the proper school education system. But while we talking about the higher education institution, then the problem arises because the diversification of the educational institution is very vast. Since it's 1986, when National Policy for Education and the Program of Action POA 1992, this was announced, it was advocated by the higher authorities that we should have some accreditation agency. And on the basis of that, the National Assessment Accreditation Council, NAC, was established in 1994. This NAC was established as an autonomous institution of the UGC, and which was having its headquarters in the Bangalore. The hierarchy of NAC, how the NAC works, that NAC functions through its general council. They have NAC is having its own general council, which they call it the GC. Then they have the executive committee, which they call it the EC. This EC comprising the educational administrators, policy makers, and the senior academicians from the different higher education institution and the people, those who are associated with this system in our country. The chairperson of the UGC is the president of the GC, General Council. Means the chairperson who is heading the UGC is the president of the General Council in NAC. And the chairperson of the EC is an eminent academician and nominated by the GC president. Means the chairman of the UGC appoints the chairperson of the Executive Council of NAC. Then the government appoints a director in the NAC, and director is supposed to be the academic and administrative head of the NAC. He is the member secretary of the GC and EC both. So this is what the hierarchy, administrative hierarchy of the NAC in India, which is the National Accreditation Council, which gives the accreditation to the different higher education in India. See, the NAC is supposed to give the accreditation, the grading, according to the performance of the different higher education institutions in India. In India, if you see, the higher education institutions can be divided into the three different categories. Because when we have to give the accreditation, first we'll have to identify what kind of the educational institutions we have in India. So these were basically in NAC, they have categorized the higher education institutions in three categories. One is the category which belongs to the universities. Second is the autonomous colleges, or we call it them the excellence colleges. And third one is the affiliated and the constituent colleges. So NAC gives the accreditation to all these three, whether it is the university, autonomous college, or the affiliated constituent college. Now, before going to the details of the NAC working, we'll have to find out what exactly are the vision and mission of the NAC. What NAC is expecting from the higher education and what they are having in their mind. So the first thing, they have to arrange the periodic assessment and accreditation of the institutions of higher education, units thereof, not only the institution, but the program and the projects also. That means the NAC not only gives the accreditation to the institutions, but they give the accreditation to the programs and the projects also. The second vision is to stimulate the academic environment in the higher educational institutions, to promote the better teaching learning processes in the research and the education system in India. Then the third thing, I normally when I speak to my student, मैं ये बोलता हूं बच्चों से कि आपका हमेशा आपको समझने वाला आपसे अच्छा कोई नहीं। द असेसमेंट अगर किसी इंसान को करना है, अपना असेसमेंट करना है, so he is only the judge who can evaluate himself. The same is the vision of the NEC also. They say to encourage the self-evaluation process. The higher education system, by introducing the new NEC accreditation policy, they have the vision in mind that the educational institution should develop themselves in a way that they can assess themselves, self-evaluation. While they are evaluating themselves, they should feel the accountability with autonomy and innovation in the higher education institutions. How they can innovate the new things. Abhi apan dekhenge, we'll see the what does it mean, innovation. To undertake the quality related research studies. They emphasize on the research, how to provide the quality to the research studies and the promote consultancy and the training programs. Those are supposed to be organized by the educational, higher education institutions. Then the collaboration with the different stakeholders, those who are involved in the higher education. उनके साथ में हम किस तरह से कोलैबोरेट कर सकते हैं. Like for example, if the Sagar University is having some collaboration with the triple ITDM, so how to set the collaboration with the different stakeholders in higher education so that they can provide the quality evaluation and quality education and the promotion of the education. To meet out these basic visions of the NEC, they set some 5 core values. The NEC has set 5 core values, and these 5 core values are: the first one, that the higher education institution should feel themselves that they should contribute in the national development. Each and every educational institution, higher education institution, should contribute something into the society. They should act in such a way that they should contribute to the economy, to the society, and to the country. And it is therefore appropriate that the assessment and accreditation process of NEC looks into the ways how the higher education institutions are contributing to the national development. Then another problem, जैसा मैंने आपसे पहले भी डिस्कस किया था, कि हमारे यहाँ डाइवर्सिटी बहुत है, and due to the diversity, the international acceptance of the higher education institutions, जो बच्चे निकलते हैं, उनका international acceptability बहुत अच्छी नहीं है. The students, those who are passing out from the IITs, NIT and the business management institutions, उन्हें छोड़ दें अगर, तो हमारे बच्चों की international acceptability बहुत अच्छी नहीं है. So how the higher education, see, while I am discussing these points, you keep in mind when you are preparing your report, self-assessment report, जो आप NEC को सबमिट करने वाले हैं, you should keep in your mind that your report should show these things, these characteristics in your documents. आप जो documents prepare करें, उनमें ये सारी चीजें दिखनी चाहिए. That wherever you belongs to, and if you are submitting some document to the NEC for the accreditation, you keep in your mind that how you can show that how your institution is contributing in national development. And second is the how your students are being absorbed by the different institutions, not only in India, but the abroad also. तो आपको ये शो करना है कि आपकी एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी क्या है, आपके कोर्सेज की एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी क्या है, आपके जो पास आउट्स हैं उनकी एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी क्या है. दिस यू हैव टू शो इन योर रिपोर्ट. You develop your report in such a way that it should show that your pass outs are being absorbed by the different institutions, not only in India, but abroad also. A closer relationship between the world of competent learning and the world of skilled work. The third one, inculcating the values, how you are inculcating the values in the students of your institution. The student should have the cooperation and the mutual understanding. The seeds of values such as cooperation and mutual understanding during the earliest stage of education, what kind of the contributions your institutions is doing to achieve these things. How you are inculcating the values in your students for the nation development, for the society development. Therefore, the NEC assessment therefore examines how these essential desirable values are being inculcating into the students. The third one, promoting the use of technology. जैसे अभी हम मैम से बात कर रहे थे कि we should show that how you are using the state of the art in your educational system. My university, Dr. Sir Hari Singh Gaur University, which is a central university, yesterday I visited one school in my city. That school was having a very good smart classroom, 7 smart classrooms, with each classroom with a strength of 100 accommodations, 100 students accommodation. And they were having very good digital lab also. But unfortunately, the higher education institution, like my education, this university, which is a central university, till date, we do not have any digital lab, smart classroom. Smart boards are there, that is different thing. But we don't have any smart classroom. So unfortunate I find. मुझे इतना खराब लगा कि एक सेंट्रल इंस्टीट्यूशन, सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर कोई डिजिटल क्लासरूम नहीं है. सो अगर हम ऐसा कहीं ये एसएआर हम सबमिट करते हैं तो हम क्या शो करेंगे कि whether do you have the digital classrooms in your university or not? So if you have, you must mention all these things in your documents and claim it that how optimally you are using the ICT to in imparting the education in your within your stakeholders. Then the quest for excellence. Apart from all these things, the educational institution should develop the students with some skills. They may belong to different segments, but each and every student is having its own skill. So find out the skill of the student and develop them, shape them in that way. So the student should have the skill development approach. The higher education institution should demonstrate and derive to develop themselves into the centers of excellence. And these are the quest of excellence could start with the assessment of even earlier by the establishment of the steering committees for preparation of the self-study SSR report of the institution. With these vision and core values, the NEC is giving the accreditation since past 2 decades to the different higher education institutions. And so many of the institutions, new institutions are getting the accreditation. and old institutions are getting the re-accreditation, second cycle, third cycle, fourth cycle. ये continuous process है. But NEC का जो accreditation process था, ये कुछ monotonous हो गया. मैंने जैसे आपसे बोला कि accreditation and affiliation दोनों भाई बहन हैं. Universities में we have the affiliated colleges. We also give the affiliation to the different colleges. When we visits to the college, we find out कि कितनी सारी गलतियां हैं उन institutions में जहां हम affiliation दे करके आ रहे हैं. Because since we have the traditional एक system, set system है, अगर वो fulfill कर रहे हैं तो you are supposed to give them the accreditation or the affiliation. But to make it more ICT enabled, objective, transparent, scalable, and the robust, the NEC has launched the new revised assessment and accreditation framework in July 2017. From qualitative peer judgment to data-based quantitative indicators evaluation, towards the extensive use of ICT confirming scalability and the robustness. This new assessment process, revised assessment process and accreditation process, the framework, this has drastically reduced the questions and the reports, visit days, and so on. जो traditional system में थे वो सारी चीजों को कम कर दिया गया. In terms of boosting the benchmark as a quality improvement tools, this has been attempted through the comparison of the NEC indicators and the International Quality Assurance Framework. Now the team will visit, peer team will visit the institution to give the accreditation only when the institution will get at least 25% score of SSR. On the basis of the SSR, that too a system generated score. ये सब अभी अपन डिटेल में देखेंगे और उनको कैसे सपोर्ट करना है and how to get the percentage, how to achieve this percentage. Now we'll discuss all these things. Now this has new revised assessment system has introduced the system generated scoring, that is 70% online evaluation and 30% peer judgment. The validation of the data which is submitted by the educational institutions is now being validated by the third-party agencies. And on that basis, the different matrices, different matrices are being assessed on the basis of the weightage and the benchmarks. Now, in the complete this process, in traditional accreditation process, what was there? Only the NEC and the higher education system, two-way system was there only. Accreditation देने में या तो higher education institution थे या NEC था. But what NEC in new revised assessment and accreditation framework, the NEC emphasized that in complete process, we should involve our main stakeholder, that is the students and the alumni, so that we can properly judge the performance of the educational institutions. And for that, to get the accreditation, the NEC says that you submit your self-study report, SSR. You submit your SSR with the involvement of the different stakeholders of the total higher education system. If you see in higher education system, who are the different stakeholders? The management of the institution, the faculty members of the institution, the administrators of the institution, the students, those who are passing out from your institution and those who are getting the admission in your institution, the parents, those who are indirectly being benefited from the higher education institution, the employers, those who are employed in your institution, and the community and the alumni, means the society and alumni. You develop your NEC report, self-study assessment report, with the involvement of all these stakeholders: management, faculty members, administrators, students, parents, employees, community, and the alumni. In सबके involvement से you prepare the SSR report. And on the basis of that SSR report, the NEC gives you the performs the assessment of your institution. And for that, they developed the different criteria based, जो कि आपको पहले भी कुछ faculty ने आपको कुछ lecture लिए हैं. They have discussed about, I think, the 4th, 5th, and 6th this criteria. And one faculty has already discussed about the 7 criteria. Those are fixed for the assessment of any higher education institution. वो सभी उन्होंने discuss किए होंगे. But still, quickly, I'll revise and we'll discuss what we should, while you are preparing your report and you are preparing the document for those 7 criteria, how you can represent yourself, how you can claim your grading from the NEC, or how you can achieve the best grading from the NEC. This we'll discuss in this today's lecture. If you see what are these basic 7 criteria, तो मैंने इनको एक कोण में आपको यहाँ पर दिखाने की कोशिश की है. As far as my thinking is concerned, मेरा सोचना है कि कोई भी educational institution का success depends upon the values of and the best practices performed by that particular institution. And that's why I have given, just a minute. I have given this first grade to the first criteria, that is the institutional values and best practices. What kind of the best practice आपका institution use कर रहा है, which makes your institution different from rest institutions. Best practices का मतलब है कि what kind of the practice you are making in your institution so that you can segregate yourself from rest of the institutions. So this total depends upon the grading depends upon this core value, the first value. The second is the governance, leadership, and the management. The third is the student support and the progression. Then the infrastructure and learning resources. And fourth one is the research and innovation extension, and the teaching and learning evaluation, and then the curricular aspects. These all criteria are having their own few sub-criteria, and those sub-criteria are known as the key indicators of these 7 criteria. And on the basis of these key indicators, the matrices are being developed by the system itself. See, once again, I'll go to the previous slide, that in our education system, we have three categories of the higher educational institutions, those who are imparting the education. Let's see quickly what these are. The first one are the universities. The universities, those are free to develop their own curriculum. They can revise their curriculum. They have the right to ensure the check on the success of the different curriculums. Then we have similarly, we have the autonomous colleges. The autonomous colleges, those they can develop their own curriculum for their courses and the programs. And as the colleges, those are not free to develop their own curriculum, but they are supposed to follow the rules and regulations developed by the universities. That means we have three categories. One category, they can develop your own curriculums, they can develop their own programs, they can introduce new programs, they can set the rules for the different programs. Similarly, the autonomous colleges are also almost having the same kind of facility, but the third one, they don't have any such kind of the facility that they can change the curriculum. They are supposed to follow those curriculums only. Those are developed by the universities. So the first criteria, some participant was sleeping on the bed. No problem. Okay. This is the topic of the online classes. The criteria 1. This is
pardon,
the
Dr. Pathak?
criteria 1.
Sorry, you were saying something.
Some participant was lying on the bed. I have seen the video. So.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Participants,
no,
we seek your kind attention, please. I'm just looking at the how to stop the video. Let me see. Hello, participants. We at least seek your.
There was some participant Kalpana Tumapudi. Anyways.
Okay, Kalpana ji, we seek your attention, please. So I'll check. Okay, thank you, please. Continue, please.
Okay, no problem. So the first criteria, initiate the wide range of the program courses. Now, while you are developing how the educational institutions should develop this NEC is very, very careful about the curriculum development. The NEC is expecting that while you are developing your curriculum, the curriculum, other courses and the program, they should be national and on the basis of the national and global trends. And they should meet the local needs also.
Dr. Pathak, somehow you are muted, please. We're not getting your voice. Yeah.
So in criteria 1, the NEC is very careful about the curriculum development. They say that while you are developing your curriculum, you keep in your mind that the curriculum should meet the national and international trend, and not only the national and international needs, but the local needs also. Apart from issues of diversity and academic flexibility, aspects on career orientation, multi-skill development, and you should follow a very good feedback system in your curriculum. The curriculum you must develop in a way that it should have a proper feedback from your stakeholders. One of the significant responsibilities of the university, and see, मैंने जैसे बताया कि 3 category हैं. One is university and autonomous colleges. These two, university and autonomous colleges, can develop their own curriculum. So what NEC is expecting, one of the significant responsibility of the university and autonomous colleges is curriculum design and development. Thus are expected to have a sound process and system and the to develop the new, while you are developing the new curriculum. The curriculum should be need-based. While you are developing your curriculum, you keep in your mind that it's meeting the need of national, international level, and not only the national and international level, but the local needs also. And in that process, you incorporate, you take the help of expert groups, and on the basis of the feedback from the stakeholders, हम कैसे पता करेंगे local needs को? Local needs पता करने के लिए it's very, very important that you should have a proper feedback system from your stakeholders and your students. This results in the development of the relevant program with flexibility. The process should accommodate local needs, as I have already discussed. And what it emphasizes next, 7 criteria are there. And I have gone through the different university websites and I have seen the 7 criteria, those जिनको वो claim करते हैं. But they are not showing anything related to what I am saying here. While you are developing your first criteria के content जब आप develop कर रहे हैं, फाइल आप जब बना रहे हैं, तो फाइल के कंटेंट्स में ये सारी चीजें शो होनी चाहिए. ये नहीं है कि केवल हमने अपना क्यूरिकुलम अपलोड कर दिया, बीटेक एमटेक के कोर्सेज को हमने अपलोड कर दिया. यू हैव डेवलप्ड दोस क्यूरिकुलम्स, यू क्लेम ऑन दैट कि हमने फीडबैक लिया, दिस वाज द रिपोर्ट ऑफ द फीडबैक, दिस वाज द रिपोर्ट ऑफ द एक्सपर्ट, this is the need of the national and international level, and to accommodate all these things we have developed this curriculum, and this curriculum is enclosed here. But most of the institutions are not presenting themselves in this way. How they are presenting? BTech first curriculum, second semester, third semester, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, जो भी हैं सारे सेमेस्टर के curriculum develop कैसे डेवलप किए, किन्होंने डेवलप किया, किस सिस्टम से डेवलप किया, it's not claimed in that. The assessment team emphasizes on that. Now what it says, NEC, what the NEC is expecting, that each university and autonomous college should incorporate these 3 things, POs, PSOs and COs. What are the program outcomes of your programs? What are the outcomes of your program? Excuse me. What are the outcomes of the specific programs? And what are the outcome of the course in total? क्या आउटकम है आपके कोर्स के, जो आप कोर्स इम्पार्ट करने वाले हैं अपनी सोसाइटी के अंदर अपने बच्चों के बीच, उनके आउटकम क्या है? On how this means the program outcomes, specific program outcomes, and the course outcomes are meeting the requirement of the students by providing them proper employability, entrepreneurship, and the skill development. ये सारी आपकी वेबसाइट के ऊपर, because now the NEC first looks your websites, your e-contents, your contents, those are there in your website in an electronic form, because the team is not coming. The team first is accessing your information which you have uploaded on your website with the help of these 7 criteria. Now, what we should include in our criteria while you are uploading the information in the different criteria, I am discussing those points only. Now, what about the affiliating colleges or the constituent colleges? Some of the participants may belong to the affiliating, the constituent colleges. Then here, while अगर आप ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूशन से जो क्यूरिकुलम डिजाइन नहीं कर पा रहे, तो आपको क्या दिखाना है अपने फर्स्ट क्राइटेरिया में, that how you are different from the other colleges. Each college operationalize the curriculum within the overall framework provided in one's own way, depending on its resources, potential, institutional goals and concern, and so on. Means how the curriculum, those are defined by your parent institution, आप उनको किस तरह से जस्टिफाई कर पा रहे हैं, अपने रिसोर्सेस को किस तरह से पोटेंशियली यूज कर पा रहे हैं. आपकी रिपोर्ट में ये सारी चीजें दिखनी चाहिए. Each college visualizes the way of curriculum has to be carried out activities, who, how, and when. This process, ये सारी चीजें, this process makes each institution unique. मैंने क्या बोला? आपको ये दिखाना है how you are different from the others. Because आपकी मार्केट में एग्जिस्टेंस, आपकी सेलेबिलिटी, आपकी मार्केटिंग डिपेंड इस बात पर करती है how you are different from the other educational institutions. The stakeholders assess this thing only, and on that basis they take the admission in your institution. So you'll have to show these things in your documentation. Then academic flexibility. From the traditional education system, the student should have the flexibility to move horizontal and interdisciplinary options. The next is the curriculum enrichment. The curriculum should be designed in such a way that you are doing the holistic development of the student. आप बच्चे का डेवलप आप ये शो करें अपने डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में कि यू आर डेवलपिंग योर स्टूडेंट इन ए होलिस्टिक वे के साथ आप उसका डेवलपमेंट करें. The higher education institution is expected to have provision for added courses, value-added courses, activities, cross-cutting issues relevant to the current pressing concern both nationally and internationally, and I must include the locally. A progressive university, what NEC is expecting, a progressive university would provide a wide range of such value-added courses for the students. That means जब आप documentation कर रहे हैं तो आप ये show करें how your university or institution is a progressive in providing the value-added courses to the students, to the society, and to the country. And to develop this complete system, what kind of the feedback system you are applying in your institution? And with that feedback, how you are contributing to the society, to the economy, and to the environment of the institution. So for that, the higher education institution should have a structured feedback process, proper structured feedback process. The total assessment is based on students. अभी अपन देखेंगे कि ये जो पूरी प्रोसेस है इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा पार्ट जो है के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. And what kind of the feedback? We'll discuss all those things also. The admitting, next is the enrollment process. What kind of the enrollment process you are applying in your institution? जो admission process है, the admitting students to the programs, whether it is transparent, well administrated, and mechanized or not. And if it is mechanized, it's fulfilling all these things, you claim all these things in your documentation. The accommodate ensuring equity and while you are mentioning the complete admission process, you must define that how you are justifying the accommodating, ensuring equality, equity, and wide across, having representation of the students community from the different geographical areas, socio-economic problems, and the cultural and educational background. कैसे आप वीकर सेक्शन को, कैसे आप डिफरेंट सेक्शन, सोसाइटी के डिफरेंट सेक्शन के बच्चों को अट्रैक्ट करते हैं आपके कोर्स, एंड यू आर इन्वॉल्विंग देम इन योर एडमिशन प्रोसेस. This complete accreditation process also depends upon how you are attracting the students in your institution, how you are inviting them to join your hand. This is very important. Catering the students, जो अभी मैं बात कर रहा था, catering to the students of diversity, the diverse background, backward community, as well as the different locals. They would make special efforts to bring the students from special categories. क्या efforts आपने किए special category के बच्चों को अपनी institution से जोड़ने के लिए, या क्या कर रहे हैं? How you are fulfilling their special needs so that they are being attracted by the institution. How you are handling the unigender institution, unigender system in your institution. While in unigender institution, explicit efforts are to be made to sensitize the students about their gender and life. The total system should be learner-based, learner-centered education system. So you apply methodology in such a way that your system should be learner-based. The digital resources for learning have become available, and this makes learning more individualized, creative, and dynamic. The learning like flipped learning, the learning like the more participation of the students in your learning process, it should be more interactive one. What kind of the efforts you are putting in your educational institution to meet out these things. आपके documentation में and आपकी files में आपके जो details ऐसे बनाएं, आप ऐसे design करें कि वो सारी चीजें उसमें emphasize होनी चाहिए. Now teachers, they may not be technology savvy, they may not be मतलब जो टीचर्स हैं वो नई नई चीजों से बहुत ज्यादा familiar ना हो, तो what kind of the efforts as an institution, parent institution, you are making your teachers familiar with the new learning management system. Then what kind of the teacher profile quality, their teacher characteristics and recruitment process, कैसे आप उनको involve कर रहे हैं, this you must mention in your documentation. The teachers should be innovative, continuously seeking improvement in their work. Matlab, you will have to, while the teachers, the faculty, files you are putting on the neck SSR, you must keep in your mind that it should show that your teachers are innovative. They are constantly seeking improvement in their work. तो ये सारी चीजें आपको उसके अंदर मेंशन करनी. Now the next is what kind of evaluation process you are using in your educational system.
So, Dr. Pathak, because we have almost like crossed around 50 minutes or so, I would request participants, if I would request you to please have a little break, because I know that you have recently suffered from corona, and your throat requires a little rest. So, okay, participants, no, I request you to please ask questions. Meanwhile, he can take a small break.
Yes, the questions are welcome.
Yeah. Please raise your hand so that we can give you an opportunity to ask some questions. No questions, participants?
I'll make it some fast because I have to cover these several things in all these 7 criteria so that they can prepare the documents. तो थोड़ा सा फास्ट कर दूंगा अभी, थोड़ा सा मैंने डिटेल में समझाने की कोशिश की है.
I mean,
how they can prepare their documents. Actually, ma'am, what is the problem with the NEC accreditation, the peer team before? कि लोग बात क्राइटेरिया 7 क्राइटेरिया दे तो रहे हैं, बट उसमें जो रिपोर्ट डाल रहे हैं वो उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट के अनुसार नहीं. उसमें क्या चीजें होनी चाहिए एंड जो मैट्रिसेस डेवलप किए हैं उनमें क्या चीजें उनको चाहिए हैं, वो हमको कैसे हम एम्फसाइज कर सकते हैं. This is more important than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the reason we thought that you will be more emphasizing on management of the entire, all the documents. And many speakers have also emphasized on this while speaking about different criteria and what can be done and what should be avoided. All these things have been discussed. And so, I mean, a lot of, it's a comprehensive preparation that is required. And not only preparation, we also should have a preparedness. And I think that
is important.
The moment you start preparing, you come to know that these are our lacunas, these are our weaknesses, so that you know that how to overcome from those things. So I agree that once you start preparing, I wanted to ask with respect to this Dr. Hari Singh Gaur University, how did you manage with the accreditation, and what were some of the most important challenges that you faced while retrieving or while getting data from the different departments? Because getting data from different departments itself is very challenging. People will not give their data in time. Faculty will, in the last moment, will change their, like the number of projects, the number of research publications, which are very important, and anything that new that you have done. So small data sometimes makes a big change or difference. How did you manage with this?
Actually, you rightly said, ma'am. We are facing the same problem in the university also, in our university also, that the pupils are not giving due to the various reasons, बहुत सारे reasons, and those we cannot discuss here even on the public platform. But the faculties are not giving the information properly to the IQAC committee. They are not giving the information to the, and it becomes very difficult to prepare the documents in absence of the information by the faculty. The second thing which we face, the very big problem about the students' feedback. The students, those are from the remote areas, and due to the COVID, the students are not present in the institution itself. How to collect the feedback from this was the big task before us. How to collect that? What we did while we were taking the projects from the different students, we took their mobile number, and from their mobile number individually we call the students and ask them to send their feedback. The student feedback is very important in this complete NEC accreditation process. Until unless your 50% students are not giving the feedback, your this SSR will not be considered by the NEC.
Okay.
So the apart from the faculty ke upar to you have some process, like you can ask the head of the departments, you can constantly give them the phone calls, the teachers, and some or other way they are regularly coming to the institutions, you can catch them, you can ask them to give the information. But while this becomes the students' partner, it becomes very difficult. The feedback from the stakeholders like the society, from the market, it becomes difficult.
Some universities and some institutions have seen, they associate the grade sheet with the feedback. The moment you give feedback, you will get the grade sheet. That also happens in many institutions.
This could be one very good way. Yes, certainly.
It's a kind of a no dues. And the other day when Professor Maya Ingle was taking a session, she told that there was an institute of national importance they visited long back, about 5-6 years ago, she was telling. And she told that there was no research, they did not have any research record, which I failed to understand why. And one reason could be, again, the faculty doesn't give in time. So ultimately, it all is shown on their records. So data which is missing leads a very poor impression.
That is only the problem. Yeah. That is only the problem. And the NEC is very, very particular about the data. They are not only taking the data, they are not concerned about the data, but they are more concerned about the authenticity of the data. Whether your data is authentic or not, cross-checking it, and they fix the liability to the institution also if you are not giving the proper data. Then it becomes very difficult for the team, those who are preparing the report to be submitted in the NEC. So these problems are there. But we have, as a government institution, we have different kind of the problems, ma'am. We cannot force the student that until unless you will not fulfill, you will not feed the feedback form, we will not give you the grade sheet. My son is studying in one of the private institution of Indore, leading institution of the Indore. What they are doing the same thing which you are saying. उन्होंने बोला कि आप अपना फीस, जो स्टूडेंट फी, और उसके बाद एडमिट कार्ड आपको सेमेस्टर का तभी मिलेगा जब आप फीडबैक दें. You'll get the admission card only when you'll give the feedback. अभी हमारे यहाँ प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि अगर हम ऐसा कुछ करते हैं तो दूसरे दिन पेपर में निकलेगा कि they are not issuing.
Yes.
तो ये एक प्रॉब्लम है.
That's true. Participants, you have no questions, then Dr. Pathak, if you wish to take a small break, you can take, otherwise, as you wish. I just wanted you to have a little break. You were coughing.
Sure. Just 5 minutes break.
Yeah, sure.